Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Today I would like to share information regarding to how to. Probably everyone is pretty much got their mind stuck on pollutions of all types. Um, so I think the way out of them is to know how to. Today I would like to share information about Vortex. Vortex engines are simply mean quantified electromagnetic force field which could be kept sustained in between a system. Normally it would mean without harming any others. That's a normal way of put how the vortex engine works. Especially the Mercury vortex engine because Mercury is one of the most sensitive element in the entire universe. Mercury. Now imagine a cat with it. That's my mountain lion. That's Kitty on the eight Kitty. 1950 2000 yellow on 8 infinite enjoy nature, the 8 out of the first 10 pioneers in 1998 April, around the same time when I decided to leave Hungary because of the economic situations. Yeah, they seem to be too hopeless. So let's get back to Vortex. You probably realized how the world has an equator. An equator is nothing else but a ring. This ring spins. This spinning mechanism is exactly the opposite or the opposite mechanism, spinning mechanism by direction, than what propels this one. In this case, size won't matter much. In this case, simply by speed, when you accelerate something so close to near to each other, to when the electromagnetic fields are actually contacting, depending on the speed of the circulating objects and the direction, they will either do behave in a certain way. Now we will focus on vortex. Now we will focus on anti-gravity. Now we will focus on simple engines. Now we will focus on quantum engines, quantumized realities, self-sustained realities, infinite realities, human realities, divine realities, holy realities. Oh, I think I got tired. Okay, that's it. I think it's a good way to do it. Okay, so if we spin in the opposite direction, there will be also an effect which propels that mechanism. An effect that propels something likewise. Now we're talking about the mechanism of the universe in a way too, because everything is exactly the same in the same category of nature. Why is this very important? Because in that reality now you have in a world of which actually destined to last forever in perfect balance. That's one reason why it is very important to know about this. By now I a little bit forgot about the number one reason why I started this video actually with the vortex engines, but they all mean good as long as they don't fall in the wrong hands and it starts sucking up electromagnetic impulses or not, or if they start or if they're getting injured, the mechanism is getting injured anyways or getting polluted in any ways. electric, energetically, physically, or psychologically, or injured, pretty much mean the same thing because one will without the other. The consequences of injuries will be infections. The consequences of the infections will be injuries. Acidifications always mean both, could mean both, depending on the style as well as how it is actually able to affect, impact how you know something or someone. Okay, where we need to pause this to remember what actually was the main subject where I choose to talk to you about vortex engines, especially Mercury vortex engines. Okay, let's dig into it a little bit. I think I partially remembered why I mentioned this. It was about how to keep the balance what it is by electromagnetic reality on the planet while kicking out vibranium. The dimension is shifting away with the red as well as with the green as well as with the mercury. In the other way around as well as this way, you know what I mean? Wherever we float that boat, they will decide. Don't worry about that. It's a good dance. They love each other. They love working together. So we will kick out the blackest, darkest, coldest, most destructive element from the planet, which is alien, arrived by a meteor a few hundred, about two to 300,000 years ago. We will kick this element out of the planet while preserving a complete support to this reality what we got right now without causing any trouble. And then of course by that time we will also be ready to shift anything or anyone, especially humans, into safety with the Orion starships. They're all around us. So the pinky is the small size, and then your marrying finger is the other size, the bigger size, and then as smaller they are, as more they are. Spread around all around the planet. In the camper, on the camper, above the camper, with the camper, for the camper. These are our lifeboats. They're all called the same way because they're all designed the same way, but the sizes are different. Some can host maybe a city, another one could host a country, another one could host maybe a continent, and then we will run on a mothership. And then all the continents, then to the mothership. Of course, when it comes to dimensional shifting, human souls with perfect human physiologies with it in this case, of course, because now we're going through a very source quality bioenergetic nature when we are actually getting saved. Make sure that it will seem like nothing happened since Eden, since heaven. Then the pole will become straight again, including, of course, everything else, as well as everyone else with it as well. Also, and most likely, we will be able to determine what we will keep and as well as how. For what in between these discs, what actually created this gravitational field between an anti-gravitational field artificially. Of course, it got impacted, then infected, but it's not something what we could not handle. Okay, vortex engines. What was that? So I think this was the main reason. So vortex engine really able to support this, however it is, even with the straight pole. And then from that point on, with humans having the wholesomeness already, original electromagnetic, original energetic, physical as well as psychological state of being, according to the five main elements with the human right balance. Humans will also able to easily, comfortably, like being on a holiday non-stop in the most beautiful place, of course. We're able to reorganize the environment. So certain areas on the planet, of course, which were not habitable will become habitable, and in another way around, depending on what actually the best utilization of the area by mineralistic qualities and other geological facts, because they will play a huge role about how will actually the combined nature of the planet electromagnetically, physically, then psychologically support human nature to, to fulfill its number one purpose, is to sustain itself without any aliens. That means acidifications, mutations, hybrids, animals, zombies, mutants, and then from that point on, of course, you can figure out easily the different types of mutations, zombifications. They all mean pretty much the same, but a tiny bit different style, and of course, these big different styles will come with different characteristics which nobody likes, not even those who are having it, or especially those who are not yet having that yet. So the vicious circle could be repaired easily. It will take understanding, it will take activating the red matter, which is the human, in this case, the human blood needs to be clean. So all humans' blood needs to be clean. As cleaner the human blood will become, as more it able to relate to actual red matter, that will do the magic for humans. It will not do the magic for beasts. If humans separate from the beasted world, then of course humans will be protected there, but then this world will never have a chance to actually become human. And I never met anyone yet who did not want to become an actual human instead of anything else. So being a heaven united magical angel, it's not something you just want to throw out of the window. While the entire universe, everything and everyone else is hunting for it, especially for its spirit. So if you don't safeguard it somehow with other humans, then you will lose it and you will become a beast too, hunting for the same thing, the human soul. But this decay, radiation decay again, by throwing out the vibranium and all the other related alienated elements, could end without being noticed. We won't even keep the bad memories about it. Imagine that. Without protection. Proper human protection. That's how bad the situation. But that's how it could be fixed. So keep animals. If you're keeping animals, separate them from you, outside of you, inside of you. Don't let them pollute you with something what you don't want to become. The reason why they became animals because they already decayed. They got an extra membrane around their cells, like I mentioned before, that captivates them. And it's not physical and not biological anymore. The infection process is biological because it is radioactive also. There's a biological radiation around everything what is alive, even around everything what is not. Because the environment is alive. There's an ether. Yet the ether is nasty, like there is no tomorrow. So everything else is also nested with it. And nobody really likes tomorrow as is. Or the past. That means yesterday. Present is totally up to us. Then the future will be better. Then the past won't matter. The past will remain wherever it belongs. In the past. It meant to pass, so it could become past. Sort of like a cross with an S instead of two S's. Aloha.